It's the BYU Sports Nation stat of the day.
Austin Collie is the only BYU wide receiver to catch over 100 passes in a single season. He caught 106 footballs in the year 2008. Cody Hoffman had 100. Jay Miller had exactly 100. Austin Collie, the only guy to go over 100 with 106. He now joins us on the Deseret First Credit Union hotline. 9 days away from BYU in Utah. Austin, great to have you on the show, man.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
Okay, let's hear the backstory. Why did you pick number 9 and wear that at BYU?
So growing up, I was a huge fan of Peter Warrick. Huge fan. And that's the number he wore at Florida State. And I loved him because he did everything. He returned kicks, played quarterback, obviously was a great wide receiver. I think they even had him at running back and sometimes on defense, right? Like the guy did everything. And I wanted to be just like him. So, and love the number.
Did you ever throw that out to Robert and I? Hey, can I be the Pete Warrick of BYU?
More than once a day. Easy.
I feel like you're the best receiver in BYU history. Maybe you don't care about that kind of stuff, but do you feel like you were the best receiver BYU's ever had?
I love it. You guys are putting me on the spot.
That's what we do. That's what we do, Austin.
Just right away. Yeah, I think so. I think BYU's had a lot of phenomenal wide receivers, and I also think it's difficult to say, right? Just because of the talent out there just keeps on getting better and better and better. I see kids do things now that I wouldn't dream of doing on a football field, and it's now become a kind of a common occurrence. The things that these kids are doing that I used to think was just unbelievable. But obviously it's everybody has their different opinion, and I'd like to think so. I'd like to think that what I did was pretty unique, and showing up and contributing right away from day one, and then leaving for 2 years, and then doing it in 2 more after that. Yeah, I'd like to think so.
Austin Collie with us on BYU Sports Nation. 215 career catches, 3,255 career receiving yards, and 30 touchdowns. Yeah, I'd say that qualifies as
in 3 seasons
the best at BYU. Austin, we saw Dylan, your little brother, in his senior season at BYU kind of catch a groove there in the bowl game with Zach Wilson. 6 catches, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's gone, but obviously Zach Wilson is back for what BYU fans hope is a very long time. What do you think of Zach Wilson and his progression and what he's capable of at BYU?
The one thing that stands out to me that Zach has is just that swagger, right? He's got that X factor that you cannot teach, you can't practice. Max had that, right? John had that. Every great quarterback to come through BYU had that, where you got that little swagger, you got that little confidence and a surety that you're going to, no matter what the play was or no matter what play was going to be needed, you were going to make it, right? That's one of the things that made Max so great, right, was, I'd go to battle with that kid any day of the week just because, I had confidence that no matter the situation, he was going to be able to make a play for us. And Zach kind of has that, right? Some could call that arrogance, right? But you need a little bit of that if you're going to be, great in those situations.
BYU plays Utah to open up the season. This is the first time they've ever met to start a season. They'll do it next year as well. How do you feel about this as game 1?
I don't know. I think it's an exciting way to start off the season, but I honestly think that last week of the season, man, that rivalry week, you got other rivalries going on. The whole week or the whole year, you've kind of been anticipating this one game, and it doesn't matter how inferior the one team is over the other. It was always going to be a great game and you were going to get everybody's best, right? I think the first game of the season, you're still trying to kind of iron things out. So, one team may not be game ready at that point, but you get almost at the last week of the season, you get almost, have some certainty that everybody kind of had all the kinks ironed out and you were going to get the best team at that best moment, right? So I don't know. I'm kind of torn, right? But on the other hand, it is a great way to kind of kick it off and start the season off with a bang.
Austin Collie with us on BYU Sports Nation. This is the highest-ranked Utah team in their preseason football history. Jarom and I kind of feel like if there's a year for BYU to beat Utah and break this streak, it almost feels poetic that this should be the year. What do you think?
Yeah, again, if I'm Utah, I'm a little worried, right? Because, it's hard to start, that first week of pads and live action and everybody's got butterflies. And again, that first game is not always indicative of how the team actually is from a talent level, right? And so, if I was Utah, I'd be a little bit. There's almost too much talk around the team, and kind of like you said, it's almost destined for something to happen, for there to be an upset, right?
This is the first time they've been picked as the preseason Rose Bowl champs. So,
yeah, good for them. Congratulations, right? Yeah.
You're right.
Austin, I want to ask you about 4th and 18 because we're feeling BYU and Utah. So I'm looking at the play here, and I never realized that you started chopping down after 8 yards, and for some reason the corner bit on that. It's 4th and 18. What?
Yeah.
Why? Why did they bite on that? That was fantastic.
That was fantastic. I'll tell you what, when Max – I don't know if you can see it pre-snap, but Max kind of looked at me and gave me a signal, right? Like I was initially just supposed to run a takeoff, but then he gave me a signal to chop it down or to stutter it at around 8 to 10 yards. So it was like it was a double move type of play. And if you could kind of be in my head in that moment, I was like, Max, you are an idiot. Like, why in the world am I going to run a double move at 10 yards when this guy's just going to be sitting at the sticks at 18 yards, right? And shouldn't be, no matter what the situation, should not be biting on anything at 10 yards. And sure enough, it happened. So
when did you realize, oh my gosh, we're gonna get the first down here?
I think when he bit, right? I think when he bit, I was like, there's a reason why Max gave it to me. You kind of know when a quarterback goes out of his way to signal you something, he kind of has in the forefront of his mind that he's going to be coming that way, right? So I knew once he bit, we got what we wanted, and the ball would be coming my way. So,
Austin, let's finish with this because it's been a while. What does it feel like to beat Utah?
So I only did it once, man. I only did it once. So in 2004, we went up there. We got our butts handed to us. Right, that was the year that they went to. I just so happened 2 out of 3 years played the 2 best Utah teams that probably ever, suit up. Right, first in 2004, that's what the year they went to the Fiesta Bowl and won it, and then in 2007 we beat them and we won the Mountain West Conference Championship, and then in 2008 is the year that they went to the Sugar Bowl and put it on Alabama. Right, so the 1 year that I did beat them, it was awesome. It was great. It's like I said, that week is definitely a week that has a different energy. And if you're a player and you say, this game just means, it means something just like the rest of the, it's no different than the other weeks of football, then they're lying to you, right? There's definitely something that's special about that week and has a little bit more meaning, especially to the fans throughout the state.
He's the Peter Warwick of BYU football, Austin Collie, 9 days away. Austin, it's always great to talk to you, man. Let's do it again soon.
Thanks, brother.
I appreciate it.
Austin Collie on the Deseret First Credit Union Hotline. Deseret First, you know why, we show how.